Talking Again podcast.
So the other day, if you guys haven't seen it, go back on my post about a week or two by the time you see this. And I had to get up early to film a breakfast video, and I wanted to do nopales and eggs. And I was like, I'll do some steak.
Yeah.
I've never grilled. Have you ever grilled in the morning?
No, not that early. 10 o'clock, maybe. That's earliest.
It's wonderful.
Out of tailgating, but
You got the birds, and it's still cool.
Yeah.
You got the sizzle.
how early was it when you were grilling?
I started about 6:30.
Oh,
by the time
dude.
I got everything on the grill, it was
Yeah.
probably like about 7:30.
Yeah.
And
Were you doing any kind of morning drinking?
no,
Or just coffee?
I didn't even do my coffee yet because I had to film
Oh.
it, so everything had to be planned. Everything was staged.
Yeah.
It takes about an hour to get everything set up, but I think it makes the food taste better.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the humidity, but I want to do more of that. I found a new thing: morning grilling. And I just used a little Weber, little gas one.
Yeah.
I didn't go all out, but it was nice.
Yeah.
It really was, because I like getting up in the morning, sitting by the pool, drinking my coffee. Even when the kids are in school, I'll go out just for a minute. Even if it's just for a minute to sit down and just have that minute to myself, listen to the roar of the freeway and the birds.
Yeah.
But to grill, to be by yourself, and it's quiet. It was wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is life with Erns. Like, I felt that moment.
Yeah.
To the tap in. We talking again. Yeah. Welcome to the podcast. Might talk a little shit, get a little brash. Might drink a little bit, smoke a little bit. Vibe a little bit, laugh a little bit. Yeah. Hosted by Fidel. Tell it like it is, only tell it real. Live every Tuesday, you know the deal. We talking again. You now tuned in to the tap in. You now tuned in to the tap in. You now tuned in to
My guest today, Life with that's your handle, Instagram. Life with Erns. Who doesn't know it, right? If you don't know, Erns Valdez right here.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you
Part
for having
2.
me. Again, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what we were saying, having the podcasting thing, like, having someone out here, like, I don't feel that I do that great of a job, but I don't like, we're talking about hearing yourself.
Yeah.
I don't think my voice is special. I don't like doing it. Like, sometimes when I fake it, like, I'll go, yeah, how's your day going? Everything going good, but you know that I'm faking it.
Yeah.
The real guy, that's me right here. High pitched Mexican. Hey.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, me and you just BSing,
Yeah.
and then like, oh, now we're on. Oh,
Hey. So, welcome to Talking Again podcast.
Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier about just having these catchphrases, having these things, and having the annoying voices. And it's funny you talk about you yourself being in your own podcast.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, I wouldn't mind somebody else being up there and I'll put in the cameras. When I started doing all this, I was still taking pictures and videos for other people.
Yeah.
And I had this idea of there was a lack of Hispanic, Latin representation as far as like foodies and what's going on in the IE, LA, more IE than LA, but it was just like, we have some shows out there. We have some people out there that do a great job, and I love them. I work for them.
Yeah.
But I want to see somebody that I can really identify with.
Yeah.
Things that I'm into.
Someone you can relate to,
Yeah, exactly. So my whole idea of how a lot of this started was I had a friend of mine and me and her got together. She's really good at producing things, really organized. So why don't me get together and team up and make our own, whatever you want to call it, entity. And, you be on the camera. I wasn't even in front of cameras at this time. I was still shy about it. And I was like, you be in front of the camera, we'll produce it. And this is what we'll do. We'll follow other people's models. It's not like we're copying. It's been done.
Yeah.
We'll just do it for people like us. More inclusive, I should say.
Right.
Not inclusive, but for what's the,
Yeah.
But, and then she didn't want to do it and say, well, we'll get somebody.
Yeah.
So that was the idea behind doing all this. And then with anything, it's hard to work around people's schedules.
Yeah.
And I have kids. I have my own schedules to work with, and it just didn't work out. But I still had that idea, that thing that I wanted to do. And that was like, I'm going to have to put myself in front of this camera and do it. And it's one of those. And that's why I think a lot of that originality or the realness comes from.
Yeah.
Because I'm still terrified. It's still me. I don't have time to I don't have time in my mind to think of a catchphrase that keep throwing in there. And I'm stuttering now because I'm nervous.
Do you still get anxious right before you do
even
a
in front
shoot?
of my own camera. I film
at home where you're most comfortable.
I'm still nervous, and that's why my videos are cut. They're just cut so much.
Yeah,
because it's me just rambling for an hour, and then I cut down to a minute, or what? It's excessive, but that's what it is. Like just me. Okay, this sounds good, or I'll do things multiple times so I can get things across. I grew up with a speech impediment. On top of that, so every time I speak, I have to really think about it. When I start drinking, it sounds like I'm drunk, but I'm not. I'm just relaxed. When I'm relaxed, things just come out.
Yeah.
So there's that to get over. But the whole funny thing was, you to think of somebody else to do it, and no, sometimes you just got to get out there and do it yourself. That's what you do.
Well, it's. I'll tell you this. Like it is. You don't have to deal with. Well, you're a photographer, so. You'll shoot like a model, right? And when you're shooting a model, you're gonna get let me see what it looks like. I mean, we won't be getting too much into specifics, but I mean, photographers, you guys know what I'm talking about. Now, if you go out there and shoot landscapes, no one's gonna tell you that it's wrong or hey, can I see the replay? Can I see the reshoot? Like you're just doing it yourself, and you check, and you're like, I didn't like it, and you go back and do another same shit here, right? Like. If I did have someone hosting and I was behind there and it wasn't going the way that I thought it would be going, I think I would be upset about it. Not so much upset, but I would be like, you know what, it's not working out. Maybe I'll just go back behind the mic again.
See what the thing and you mentioned that is working with photographer Gus Mejia. I see him taking pictures,
which we talked about last year.
He'll show the model the picture because then it gives them the opportunity to say, oh yeah, maybe my face wasn't working for that. And the same thing on my videos. I study my videos after I've done editing it. I'll watch it. My wife gets mad because I'll watch the same video like 20 times. So what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm trying to see the flow. Like, what did I say wrong? What could I have done better?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. I think you get somebody up there, if they're really into it, they're going to take the time to watch themselves and be like, okay, critique themselves enough to be like, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
You get somebody that's overly confident and they're not into changing anything, then you're going to have to like, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah. Well, that's the hard part. I was just talking to somebody about getting into business with people like, partnership, right? Because I started off the podcast with a partner, and obviously, like you have to, like in a marriage, you have to kind of give a little bit, right? In order to receive some, right? So you gotta collaborate, work a little bit, and at some point you're just like, wow, what if I don't want to,
It's like gear.
It's you just eventually you kind of go your own way, and it works out best for both both parties. And I know that I feel more confident when I put out an episode now, like because it's just me and if it comes out shit, then
it's not me, it's the guest. That's Erns. Erns is rambling about.
That's not where I was going. I was thinking more like it's my, it was me. Like I have no one to blame but myself. So now, I never listened to like How We Talk podcast, the old podcast. I never listened to any of the podcasts. Like after I recorded, I never went back and listened to any of them.
Oh wow!
The only one I did was Mr. Olympia Part 2. If you're out there listening, you know what I'm talking about. That's the only one I went back to listen to, and I still sometimes go back and listen to for motivation because his story was so impacting. Like. I was like, God, and I just get it to motivate myself again.
That's awesome.
I should send it to you.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a really good story.
There's a few videos I've come across, and they're old.
Yeah,
they still inspire me. It could have been. I think one was Rodriguez, the director.
Yeah,
and I wasn't even doing videos. Robert Rodriguez. He went back to Arizona, where he went to college and gave this lecture. And I was still an artist at this time, so I just had a gallery doing my art. But what he was talking about, and I should go back and watch it now that I make films or videos. But the stuff he was talking about was so motivational. It was like, oh, yeah. So if you find those little gems that motivate you, go back.
Yeah.
As far as critiquing yourself, oh, yeah, I have to do that.
It comes with, well, no, I think the great people that do that, yes, I'm going to put you on there. Some of those great people that are doing the thing the right way are their biggest critics, because when you go out there and you are criticizing yourself, anytime you put something out and you look at it and you go, I could have done this, I could have done that. But at some point you just got to put it out.
Have you ever gone back and watched episode 1 of your episode 1?
I've seen, I don't know. No, episode 1 would be tragic if I was to go watch episode 1. No offense to episode 1 guys. But yeah, I've gone back to listen to old shows and it's like, cringing all the time, wow, you definitely develop.
But now you know, like, okay, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay, we've
So-
come a long way.
Now I'm starting to listen to episodes a little bit more often now, like where and plus it helps that I'm 30 minutes or less. Like I try to do these at 30 minutes now. Before it was like an hour and a half. Now I try to, do it quick, 30 minutes and we're done. Try to get to the point quick.
See, that's awesome. You're evolving as
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas I started it where it's a long form interview and I want to keep it that way because it's natural and I don't want to cut anything out. But at the same time, like we're all busy, and in real life, like sometimes when you want to sit and talk with someone, you only have 30 minutes, 50 minutes.
I think that's what helps when we come in a little earlier to do the tap room.
There
and
you
a
go.
lot of stuff
That's
out.
why I started doing the tap room where we could just kind of lay back. And now let's get into it.
So I want to throw a plug out there. Go check the tap room live that he posts up on Instagram. To me, I like watching those.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You told me that. You told me. I remember you said it. And ever since you said that, I'm like, I still don't do it as often, but I have been more consistent with my tap rooms because you said you got to go live.
Yeah, go live. I end up watching them. Like it's not live. I'll just go back and watch them. Like, okay, who's on there? And I may not watch the whole thing, but I'll get a little bit of it, or I'll skip through and like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know who this person is. Like, you had a club promoter, or no, you had a producer.
Yeah, producer.
Or event or something. And I was like, okay, who's this guy? Oh, that's what he does.
Yeah, event planner.
Cool. And then like he's still doing it. Like, cool.
Yeah.
And you get into the deep things, you do the fun things.
Yeah.
So keep doing it for me. I don't. Everybody's watching.
Well,
as a viewer, like I'm a fan. So yeah.
Well, when you were on here the first time, with my co-host, right,
Yeah.
Amaris, she came on here. She did her thing over here. She was great. Shout out to Amaris. We got into a lot of what Erns Valdez is doing with Life with Erns.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of the backstory, not so much, but I don't know if you remember, but I said I'm gonna get you back part 2 because I want to know. He's laughing because he just triggered into his mind. I want to know what life was with Erns before Life with Erns, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to like when you grew up. Like we're talking like in Fresno, Little Mocoso. Like, hey, what was going on there? How was the lifestyle for you back there and over there?
I don't even know. It's so long ago. Yeah, to get who I am, it's weird, I guess. I've never talked to this. I know talk about my past. I don't talk about, because I see my life in stages of where I grew up in Fresno, and then I joined the military right at 18. So there's 8 years where that's the second chapter of my life.
Yeah.
And then what's funny is when I got married 11 years ago next week. So at my wedding, I had people from these 3 chapters of my life. And it was the most awkward thing in the world. Like, I don't want them talking. I wanted them to sit at different tables because I was a different person who I was growing up. Yeah. I have a family, an embarrassing family nickname that I grew up with. When I was in the Air Force, I was another person as I grew up. And then 4th chapter is now I'm a 42-year-old foodie, dad,
influencer, creator.
Yeah. So it's a whole different chapter. So, all right, let's get into it. Me growing up. Let's see, my parents, let's see, like the family, I think they moved to the Central Valley in the 40s. They're the Dust Bowl. Everybody kind of came here for the work and everything. Mm-hmm. So just farm laborers. And my parents grew up just menial jobs. My dad was a truck driver, not menial, but a truck driver. He did that forever. My mom ended up working her way up. She worked for the state for a long while. Nice. Yeah, so just middle-class family. Yeah, so like I don't know. I was a band geek growing up. Then I got into tagging.
Any sports or just like
no? I tried every sport. Yeah, and I just never got into it because I think I did football, and then it was just hours of people just being rough to you and
talking shit to you, putting you down.
I don't like this. Like I want to play. I don't want to go through all this. And then with baseball, it was the coach and then the assistant coach. Their kids got to play whatever position they wanted. I was stuck on the outfield. Like this ain't fun. Yep. So it was always that. So I found band. I found music. And I did that for like 4 years or so. And then I found graffiti, and that I got a job and I started doing tagging and graffiti. And that took over the last 2 years of my growing up. Yeah. So the creativeness, all that was there.
When you're doing the graffiti and the tagging, was that out in Fresno? That's when you were doing that?
Yeah, that was all in Fresno.
What did you work on mostly? Was it letters and stuff? Was lettering? That was your thing?
Yeah, my name and just what we do. And not that I was any good at it or I got up a lot or whatever the terms kids are using these
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Or it's changed over the years. But I was just a fan of that art, the scene, just being creative. It was fun. There was nobody, it was being like being an entrepreneur in that sense of like, you're just doing your own thing. You're promoting yourself. You're putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Then the camaraderie with your friends.
Did you know you were doing that back then, or is that something that you reflect on now?
No, now I look back at it like, I was developing these skills that would forever be, still part of even my videos. Everything I shoot is still in that. Even that my paintings, as I became an actual painter, I wanted everything to be done quick.
Yeah,
you got time. You're just getting up on that wall, getting everything done. But that's how I film. That's how I do everything. And it was good and bad, not everything.
Yeah.
But and it's just still just being quick and efficient at what you do.
Yeah.
Being in the military kind of was part of that too. Like be good at what you do, where you can just get up there, do it, and be done, and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So that's what life's kind of been for me. So growing up, that's it really.
After the graffiti though, how much time was there when you were, tagging? How much time was that between that and then the military, Air Force?
Probably like the last 2 years. So like my senior year. And then, because that's also when like I started dropping out of school. Then I had to go, like my senior year, I had to go to continuation high school. Then I came home one day and my mom had an Air Force recruiter at my dinner table.
Oh, she brought him in.
Yeah, I was still 17. She's like, sign these papers or you're getting kicked out. And I was like, I'm not even 18 yet.
Yeah.
But they had a thing called delayed enlistment.
Yeah.
So you sign the papers, you go through all the stuff, you swear in when you're still 17.
Damn.
So I actually enlisted when I was 17. Yeah. So I did that. And then I was like, well.
So wait, your mom gave you an ultimatum?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't a bad kid, but I wasn't a good kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that means just what any parent should do. You see that your kid's not doing anything with their life.
You know what? I'm glad that you said that, man. I'm glad that you said that because a lot of these parents right now are letting, I feel like they're letting their kids kind of raise themselves where you're not, you have to get involved. You kind of have to bring in a recruiter.
The tough love.
What was it that we heard back growing up? We hear, you're going to go to military school.
Oh yeah.
That's what you hear.
My parents couldn't afford it, but they found the military.
Someone's like, hey, well, they're not, in fact, they're going to pay you for you to go.
Yeah. That's how they sell it, man. And I still,
do you have any doubts and regrets of going to the military?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yes, it is good and bad. Just like with the tagging, I regret doing some of the property damage and some things we did. But the military was one of those things. The recruiter talks about it, and even after I got out of the military, I ended up working at a facility that had recruiters there, and you hear them talking. Oh, you want to get a good car? You just look at my car. This is all I do, and you just show up, and they sell it to you. But as far as the military was. Overall, it was awesome. It was good. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
If I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't have done anything. It would have just my life would be totally different.
Do you think that gave you more of like kind of like it was able to get like become fearless, right? Take the fear out of things, or are you still kind of like, oh, let me tip my toes every once in a while?
No, it was. I think it just threw me into something totally different and made me grow up in ways that I probably wouldn't have any other way.
Yeah.
As far as
little maturation.
You're thrown into some situation. You're a Hispanic kid, Mexican kid from California. Now you're in Florida with a bunch of people from Ohio or Wisconsin or Mississippi, and you're the only one. There's the intimidation, the harassment, all the stuff that you've got to kind of go through.
Yeah,
it's good and bad. It goes both ways. A lot of stuff that isn't cool, but at the same time, like. I did some cool things. I got to go places.
Yeah.
I learned to deal with stuff like that. That was the big thing, learning to deal how to get through those situations. And then just come out stronger. The work ethic, there's certain things that I still take from that I love about me or what the military gave me.
Yeah.
And there's other things where it's like, that's not me no more. Then when I told you about going to that next chapter.
Yeah.
So when I got out, it was redefining and getting over a lot of veterans, getting out, have an issue and you go through classes to get out of the military, like you go through training to readjust to civilian life, but it's not.
God, it's like a reformation when you're going to jail.
You get acclimated, and you get out, and probably not as bad as being in jail, but there are things you miss, the camaraderie, you miss certain things, and you did go through depression. I became an alcoholic. I did all kinds of. It was really hard for a long time to just really like, who am I now? You're told where to live, where to go, what to do, and then you have all this freedom, and then. Again, finding jobs, doing all that. So yeah, I didn't stumble around, but I tried to go to school. You know, I moved around a lot. I got different things under my belt, school, different trades. Because I did, you know, I was an electrician. I was an aircraft mechanic. I went to school I used all my jail bill. I went to school for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I did all these different things. And it wasn't until after I got out of the military, a couple of years after that, where I moved to Vegas. I was working as an electrician, and I met this cool chick who lived here in Rancho Cucamonga. It's supposed to be a one night stand. And next thing you know, I'm driving out here, Southern California, every weekend to hang out with her. And then when I moved here again, it was like, oh, last chapter. Now I'm an artist. Didn't know how that happened. Then I had a gallery, and then I was president of the Arts Color Association in Pomona, which was funny too, because they would comment about the graffiti and the different arts. And like, hey, you're the president of your association was a graffiti artist, was a tagger. So it's just like one of those things like, you can achieve so much. You can do so much. Life is so long. People say life is short. You know, that Chris Rock, oh, it's long if you make the wrong decisions.
Right.
But no, like life is long. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. It's never too late to pick up that new hobby, that passion, and pursue it. That's the past 10 years. That's what's all been about for me and I found what I truly love to do. And that is to people that have a passion, help them, either give them a place to do it, give them an outlet, or share what they do with others.
Yeah.
And that's just all it's been about. It's been art. I had the galleries. Then I did the music recordings I was sharing on social media. Then somehow it became food. And I'm still in that mode of, let me shout out the breweries. Let me shout out people. There's people out there doing amazing, amazing things. And that's what inspires me. People like you, people like Amaris, people that are just like, they're hustlers. They're out there doing what you have to do. It may not be big, it might, you know, but it's all something.
Yeah.
I admire people like you. I admire people that just do stuff.
Yeah. Just create.
The people that create.
Yeah.
And share.
Yeah.
Make this world amazing. You know, there's all these cool things.
Yeah.
Beer.
Oh my God.
Good job.
Salud.
Sorry, I went on a tangent.
No. That was a great rant. But
and that's what Life with Erns is. Before Erns, we're caught up. And I have not shared this with a lot of people don't know when I was in the military. I barely put it on my profile that I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
You got the most information. I just gave you more than I've given anybody.
You know,
other than my wife.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that. Well, I guess you all know now.
There you go. Well, see, and when we talked the first time, it was obviously to get to know, you know, everything that you do, right? We're featuring, we're showcasing, but I taught in that conversation. I wrote on my notes. I'm like, there's something more here. Let's, and I know that right now, you know, again, it's like bullet points, but I know there's more that it goes into it, but that would be for another day for your book. You know, I always say that in life, like we're writing our book. I hope you're journalizing anything. Are you writing stuff down or no?
No, I had thought about it.
You should really sit down, man, and like take a week off and just kind of like go back in time and start writing things down, because you never know. I mean, it would be great just to leave behind. Maybe you don't publish it or anything, but just to leave behind.
That was my idea to do for my daughters. Just create a YouTube channel and just ramble on about these little things in my life, things that I had learned, things that, you know, different parts of my life that I would love to share with people that, or somebody, or my kids that might take interest in. Oh, that's what he went through.
Yeah.
This is, I'm going through that situation, you know, because I've had just such a random life. That is just the only way I can describe my life is just random. It's good and bad. You know, some people like, you know, they get out of high school, they go to college, they get a job, they start a family. That is their life. Yeah. Or my life has just been one mistake after another, or different just career choices or career changes. And I don't regret any of it.
Yeah.
Quitting my job and just being a stay-at-home husband, which some people can be like, oh, he's just a bum, a failure. No, this was like the most amazing part of my life was, you know, taking criticism from people family members or in-laws that like think that, oh, he should be out working doing these things. Like, no, of all the stuff I've ever done in my life, being home with my two girls for those 2-3 years. Yeah. Irreplaceable. Nobody, and not many people get to do that. Yeah. So I've been very, very fortunate to be able to do certain things. And not that I want to give anybody advice, life advice. Yeah. I'm the last person to give advice, but there are a lot of things that people need to learn to appreciate.
I think what you're saying is very important. It's not so much that you're not giving the advice, but you're sharing your story, which a lot of people have a built-in fear that was, I think society instills this into us. You just said it right now. you go to school, you go to college, you graduate, you get a job. You just do cookie cut, right? This is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're supposed to do.
That is one for sure. I mean, there's people who plan their lives out and live by the book, and they do great. But a lot of people that I identify with, because I'm one of those people who just made those mistakes, and like, how do you get up every morning? Like, damn, that's just because there's people that have it worse than me. Like, I've been fortunate that I know that if I lost everything today, I can go out somewhere and just restart again the next day, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So that fear, but the fear's still there. I think that fear for me, it's still there. I don't want to go through that again. Yeah. But I do have things to fall back on. There's always something you could be doing. And that's part of being a creative is being a creative and then having a skill. That's the other big thing is having a trade, having a skill.
That trade is big.
Yeah. That's the thing. Having a passion. There's three things there that just, you got to have one of those three things.
Yeah.
A skill, a trade, or a passion. Or what did I just say? Yeah, they have a
trade, a craft.
Yeah.
Where do I don't know if anyone has told you, but you're an influencer now. Did you know that you were an influencer, and at what point did you find out that you were? If you do know, because I see you started as a creator, right? You're a video creator. You started doing that, but now you seem to be somewhat of an influencer.
Yeah, that was I don't know if it was by design or if it was just, I mean, like I said, when I put myself in front of the camera, I knew where it was kind of going, and it was just like, okay, we're going to do it. Just because that's just the only way I could really share what I do was through that. The only way I started getting invites to places, and it just kind of evolved into it.
Yeah.
As far as crossing over, I guess I'm an influencer now.
Yeah.
Right now, it's been like a month or two where it's like, okay, this is where I want to go with this. I want to be, I want to be everybody's cheerleader. I want to be everybody's promoter. I want to anybody that creates this is where we're going now. And being paid to do what I would love to do has just been like through Northgate Market and a few of the others that pay me just to post. Like, oh, okay, this is it. This is what we're doing. I don't have the bigger numbers that some of the people have, but I just keep getting. I'm busy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're producing. You're doing stuff. You're still.
I was in a commercial recently for some. It's not out yet. It's coming out on the 24th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 2 days after the podcast. A
commercial,
and they'll come out in 2 days.
Be part of a commercial.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, what? Oh.
Can you talk about like the spoiler?
You can't. 22nd. Yeah, because it's for I don't even remember the name. That was the thing. It's like a vegan lasagna that's coming out, and it has to do something with some other country, and they're coming here and whatever it is. So that was speaking about being in front of cameras.
Yeah.
Being in front of my own camera, being in front of your camera with you, this is cool. Yeah. I'm enjoying myself.
Right.
This is the first time I was in front of like a real camera crew, the sound guy with the boom mic, and you're like, oh, what? Yeah, it was really weird. That was nerve-wracking. So what ended up happening was I was supposed to eat this food and give them my reactions to the food and be honest. And being a foodie, and then being nervous, I ended up asking them more questions than I was reacting. So you tell me about this. What am I eating? Because this ain't cheese. This isn't,
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to insult, but it was really good. Yeah. It was vegan. It was, for being vegan, it was really good, but it was just, that's how I dealt with my nervousness, is returning the questions back.
Yeah. But I think that's what makes, hopefully they don't cut that stuff out, but I think that's what made it better. You hope they do. They do. Because seeing that because it's your Erns Valdez, Life with Erns, creator, influencer, your reaction would be to question and ask and promote, like, hey, I
like that you said that, Life with Erns. I think I forget that Life with Erns.
It's Life with Erns.
Yeah, I just think of other people. I need to start taking into account.
Yeah, that's why I tell you, like, there's a lot that we need to, it's Life with Erns isn't when you came up with that name, or when someone gave you that name, right? When your friend, gave you that name, and you made that decision to actually roll with it and run with it. It wasn't just like, oh, it sounds cool. I think there's more to it.
You're so right. And that's what it was. Cause that was why I put it out there. What was I? Oh, Erns Lab. Before that, it was the Erns Lab project. Yeah. And there's a whole long story, because me and this guy were a partner. Yeah. We were supposed to rent this huge warehouse, and 1,000 square feet of it, I was going to turn, it looked like a lab.
That's the one in Pomona, right?
No, this was in downtown Upland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, then I'll call it the Erns Lab, and it was just going to be a temporary thing. It's like, oh, I'll call it the Erns Lab Project. Sounds cool, right?
Yeah.
It was cool. I think it was one of the first things I finally came up with by myself. So it ended up happening with any kind of partnership. Things don't work out, and I ended up I already had the business name, the website, everything. Things failed, and I ended up finding a small place. Nothing made sense. Erns Lab Project, and it just became Erns Lab, which still didn't make sense because there's no lab.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm not a scientist.
Right.
So that name stuck for a couple of years. Yeah. So finally, when I finally got, okay, I'm going to rebrand. I'm going to become something. We're going to roll with this. Oh, food had already kind of been the main thing. And I was like, no, I want to be more about the art. I want to be more about my family, show people all the awesome, I was telling you, I want to show all the wonderful people around me doing what they do. I think it's on my website. That's my whole mission. My goal is to share all the wonderful people around me, all the wonderful things around me. So when I put it out there, that was, somebody said Life with Erns. I'm like, oh, that opened the umbrella. That opened the
floodgates. That's when you got that light bulb. Anything. Yeah.
This is my life. This is, oh, it's wonderful. You know, we portray it to be wonderful. We're not showing you all the bad stuff. But so having that Life with Erns, I think I need to, you keep bringing that up and I need to stick that in my head. Like, oh no, this is what I do.
That's why I say like, well, we'll get to that. You know, you'll get to that later. But merchandising, like, is something that you can make. You can make some scratch off of that, right? A little bit here and there. But having that logo, having the slogan will come. You know, whatever. We'll work with that. But like, Life with Erns is 100% do that. Like when I watch your profile, your stories, your videos, your posts, it really is like if I'm getting a little insight of what's going on with Erns. You know what you're about.
More. I want to show a little bit more. It's hard to know how much to show sometimes.
Yeah, you don't want to get too personal, right? You don't want to show too much.
I want to show what my house looks like, or I don't want to show like my kids too much, or
loving the backyard. I'm loving the morning grilling.
Oh my God. You know what? That's the first time I think about it. I did it last year for Hatch chili season because it's August or whatever, and it's like 107. So you got to get up early and roast those chilies. Yeah, and it didn't hit me at that time because roasting chili sucks. If you've ever done it and you lift it, don't do it. But so the other day, if you guys haven't seen it, go back on my post about a week or two by the time you see this. And I had to get up early to film a breakfast video, and I wanted to do nopales and eggs. And I was like, I'll do some steak. Yeah. I've never grilled. Have you ever grilled in the morning?
No, not that early. 10 o'clock, maybe. That's earliest.
It's wonderful.
Out of tailgating, but
you got the birds, and it's still cool. Yeah. You got the sizzle.
How early was it when you were grilling?
I started about 6:30. By the time I got everything on the grill, it was probably like about 7:30. Yeah. And
were you doing any kind of morning drinking?
No,
or just coffee.
I didn't even do my coffee yet because I had to film it, so everything had to be planned. Everything was staged. Yeah. It takes about an hour to get everything set up, but I think it makes the food taste better. Yeah. I don't know if it's the humidity, but I want to do more of that. I found a new thing: morning grilling.
Hey, you guys! When you watch that, you're definitely gonna get that motivation and that I'm gonna do this, and I know I'm gonna do it too. Like I was hoping to do it this Sunday, but I have maybe I will do this Sunday. Father's Day, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna grill. So there you go. That's what I'm gonna do on Sunday morning.
Even if it's just a little steak and eggs for yourself.
Yeah.
And I just used a little Weber, little gas one.
Yeah.
I didn't go all out. But it was nice. Yeah, it really was because I like getting up in the morning, sitting by the pool, drinking my coffee. Even when the kids are in school, I'll go out just for a minute. Even if it's just for a minute to sit down and just have that minute to myself, listen to the roar of the freeway and the birds. Yeah. But to grill, to be by yourself, and it's quiet. It was wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah. And then this is Life with Erns. Like I felt that moment.
Yeah.
Not all the craziness, me biting into a big rib sandwich.
Yeah.
No. This right here.
That, and then I really enjoyed you barbecuing for your family. When you had you had guests over in the background and you had a little video
that was
you were going on.
That was staged.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, we were gonna do it anyway.
Okay.
But it's hard, and there's stuff I had to leave out, and I tried to show the back of their heads.
Yeah.
And then we tried to have family over, but my family was still kind of. You know what had happened? It was funny because it was my birthday weekend. So I had a bunch of friends come over and we grilled, and I think I filmed the making of everything.
Oh, okay.
That's what I filmed, the making inside the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then I got the call the next week, like, hey, we need to post this coming week of a barbecue and do all this stuff and having family over. Like, I just had family over. This is one of those issues of being an influencer.
Yeah.
everything like my Christmas post. I'm cooking Christmas dinner 2 weeks before. I'm cooking Thanksgiving 2 weeks before. And this is one of those like, oh, hey, do you guys want to come back over?
Yeah.
So that we actually, so all that last half of that video was a whole second shoot. So, but me wearing the same thing, I wear a gray shirt.
That's easy. It's great.
It's cool. Yeah.
but I did. Well, if it makes you feel any better, it seemed pretty organic.
It was. I mean, it was my actual family. We were told my cousin, hey, let's just crack a beer, let's toast it, and because that's stuff we would normally do.
Yeah.
There weren't actors or no.
It was just, hey, let's just do it again.
Yeah, and that's my actual grill. That's my backyard. Like, and that's I think I like it like because I didn't clean my grill, and people will notice like, hey, you need to clean your grill and blah blah blah. Like,
do you get that?
Yeah. Oh, dude. You guys are in my DMs for the stupidest things, but I love it though, because like I know they're watching.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey, dude, you need to clean your grill before you throw your steaks out. I'm like, sorry, I didn't have time to put the onion, but I'm trying to film. Like, it's not a. Normally I do, but yeah, no, it's real because I'm doing what I do.
Yeah,
but I know people are watching, and that's I'm not doing it on purpose, but
So then that's the question for this episode. The whole thing.
Oh.
The whole reason why I had you on here was when you clean your grill, do you use the onion or do you use lime?
Oh, you can use lime?
Oh yeah. I use lemon. So when my wife makes like guacamole or something like that, like I go, hey, don't throw the limes away. Because when she's making that for the dip, so right before I start grilling, I use that and I start cleaning the grill with that too.
Learn something new every day, man.
And then plus also the onion too, that helps too, yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, I don't, because the onion goes on the little thing. And
you
it just works. I don't know. It just seemed to. Yeah. I don't know if it seasons the grill or anything, but
I'm sure it does. You get some kind of flavor in there, but the lemon it works just as well. I do that too. I
have a spatula. I have like a spatula. It's my all-purpose spatula. I do the eggs with it. I do it on the grill. I mean, I'll do everything with that spatula, and it's just a basic spatula. But that's my.
Does it have a bottle opener on the other side?
No, but anything could be a bottle opener.
That's true. when you use it right?
Yeah. Well, I don't drink out of bottles. It's always only drinks, and that's the only thing. If you see me using beer in a video, a commercial beer, it's a paid thing. I only for me myself, I only get beers from local breweries.
Really?
I only try to support my local breweries. Except for, and my guilty beer pleasure is Rolling Rock.
What? I was just talking to somebody about Rolling Rock.
It's a shitty
because
it's a crappy beer.
It's okay, you can say shitty.
It's a shitty beer. It's a crappy beer. A shitty beer is Coors Light, which another one I like.
Yeah.
I'll crack a Coors Light, and it just hits sometimes.
When it's nice and ice cold, even like a Coors Light and a Rolling Rock, nice cold.
I'll ride that silver bullet,
dude. Hell, and it's very affordable.
Oh yeah,
you get a 12-pack for like $6, $7.
If I have a family party, I'll get Rolling Rock or Coors Light just because it's quick. I'm gonna pound it. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Guinness is another like stout house. Like I don't like. It's hard for me to like micro brews stouts. I just like I love Guinness.
Yeah, Guinness is good.
There's a few. I mean, there's peanut butter stouts out there. They're really good.
I will say, if you ever get a chance to go to Monrovia, I think actually they have a location in Glendale too. It's called Pacific Plate. Have you heard of it?
No.
Pacific Plate. They have a pretty good oatmeal, a Mexican oatmeal stout.
What makes it Mexican?
It's horchata. It's horchata. It's pretty much horchata.
Like a chocolate.
Yeah, you get that cinnamon with a little bit of chocolate, but
see that I can do.
Yeah, it's really good. I like it. I
like what people they get. That's why I try to get beers from local places. It's always something different. You go through some bad ones, but you'll find something. Yeah, they're getting creative out there.
So what's next? What are we doing next? Are we still doing the same thing? Are we trying to get? Last time you said you had the Northgate deal. We're trying to get bigger other things.
No, I think I'm in a cool holding pattern right now with everything opening up. My locals are all opening back up, so I'm trying to get them where they need to be. If I can land some bigger things, hit me up. I'm down. But and then I have my bigger, I would say like my 9-to-5 job that's came back online. So I create content for some schools and some corporations, either their social media or their internal stuff.
Yeah.
And that's if I can keep those. And that's the idea is if I can keep those big clients happy, it gives me time to hook up the little ones either for free. I don't charge to be featured. So the restaurants I go to, like I don't charge. Like I'm just doing it for content.
Yeah.
And I help them out. Unless you need the content for yourself, then I got to charge you. But as far as, there's so many different ways, so many different things I want to do.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of being open to those possibilities and being ready for those opportunities.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't have any. I don't know what's what's the next step is. Oh, do I
Like the 5-year plan? Have you thought of that for the job that you're doing now, like with the content, with the creating and everything?
I think for being an influencer, being a creator, the 5-year plan is just to be relevant in 5 years.
Oh shit!
Doing what I need. If
Yeah.
if I got to be on TikTok or if I've got to change up my video styles, and being at my age, I'm 46. So everybody who does what I do, like they're like 22. So I've got to just keep myself on that edge of knowing technology, knowing
Yeah.
the trends, and then knowing my audience. And that's the thing, knowing the audience range and what they like.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually older than my target audience.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, which is a compliment, which is cool. And then learning my boundaries. That's another thing I'm starting to learn now. It's like, oh, what am I willing to do?
Yeah.
Who am I willing to work for? And how much? I know my price now. That's the one thing that's probably changed.
Valuing yourself is very important.
That's
you
one
know,
thing that's probably
because
changed since last time we talked. Whereas
good.
now, like I'm requiring deposits.
Yeah.
Now I'm requiring like a lot more because I feel value. I'm feeling my value now
Yeah.
more than ever.
Yeah, that's good.
And not conceited way like, oh, you need to pay me, but just no, like I've got priorities. I got
No, I don't think there should be anything wrong with that. Which you're still gonna get people that are like gonna be like, well, what, you know, let me give you the exposure. What the exposure? You said it last time. The exposure ain't gonna pay no bills.
No, my job is to give you the exposure.
Correct.
I'm on the flip.
Yeah.
End of that.
So you have to know your value. Same thing, you know, when Amaris was here, she's talking about when she tells people like, hey, this is what I charge. This is my, you know, my deal.
Yeah.
Because she knows her value. You know, she's not gonna do things for free. You know,
she hustles.
Yeah.
I still I follow her. Like it was just never. I forgot. I met her from doing the modeling thing, and then you follow people, and there was another model there who I followed while I was there, and then I just stopped following her because there was nothing really of value to me as a if I had time to waste. Like I can see pretty girls day and night. There's not. Right. But Amarisa is one of those. Like her stories is just her constant hustle. It's like, oh, I need to keep following this girl. She's one of those people.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about social media. And that's the peer groups and meeting you and meeting other people and supporting people is just like, there's just some amazing people out there that just hustle, that just work, that just share.
Yeah. That's the big thing, just sharing. Like you just had a meet earlier today, right? Yeah. And then just a bunch of guys some girls get together and just literally meet up and share the same passion that you guys have, you know, and talk about it and share experiences and learn from them, you know, because if we're not learning, then what are we doing?
Exactly.
We're just passing, you know, making the time pass by and that's it.
I'm just going to post a picture of a rib sandwich and there you go. And and me as a consumer of the media too, like I only follow people back. Like I don't follow people that just post pictures of food. Like I want to see the person. I want to connect.
Right.
Everything is connection.
Mm-hmm. I agree. 100%.
I just blanked out.
No, you know what? Because you had a thought process and it didn't go where you wanted it to go, and that happens. Man. Sometimes it's alcohol infused, and sometimes it's not.
Oh, it could be.
But this is what it is. This is a Talking Again podcast, man. So what we'll do.
I was about to say this is life with her.
This is life with Erns.
You beat me to it.
Yeah, man.
I love this idea. Now, see, now we gotta.
No, seriously,
follow up with this.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what's next. I can't wait to continue following. You know, seeing what you're doing, the merchandise, maybe something. I know there's more to it, and I know it's gonna happen for you. And I know, I threw out the 5-year thing because I want you to put it out there. When I say, hey, when I ask that question, what's your 5-year plan? Because I always want you to. Maybe you're not gonna say it right now, but maybe it's in your mind and you start thinking about it.
The idea of all this was just as it became something was like I just want to get paid to do what I love.
Yeah,
and that's what Northgate Gonzalez Market did was like they're just paying me to. I'm gonna barbecue anyway, film it and share it. Yeah, like I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna share my shopping experience. I'm gonna share the cooking, all the stuff that I do. It's always been It's never been like, oh, I don't know, maybe I don't want to do this, or it's just been like, oh. Make margaritas, cool. Like I love it. That's for me. That's the dream job. To get paid to do what I love to do. Other than being a stay-at-home dad, which I've been doing, that's been it. But
that's like the perks.
Oh, yeah,
right. That's the perks of all that.
Now
you get to stay at home and pick them up, drop them off, like that kind of stuff.
It is. It's there's no shame. Any stay-at-home parent, man, it's not easy. No, I take it back. It's easy. But it's definitely a commitment. Yeah. And, you got to put other people first. It's not, there's a lot of compromises, but the time you get to spend with your kids like, you got it.
Yeah.
I've seen, so even as me growing up and my parents and how they, I was just talking to my sister about this the other day, where this same exact conversation where they got so busy in their younger lives, you know, they were working, not that they did anything bad, but they were working and doing their own thing.
Yeah.
That now when they're older, they're every second with us means so much. We're all spread out and blah, blah, blah. They missed so much when we were growing up. And they've said it. They would apologize, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't there as a parent," and blah blah. I was like, no worries.
Yeah.
But I know my kids won't have that. They'll know, like, growing up knowing, hey, Dad was there, like, this whole time. Or I'll grow up older knowing that I had that time with them, so I can let go a little more.
Yeah,
maybe.
Because you know it's gonna be the opposite, where they're gonna be like, "God, Dad was always around." Just kidding.
Teenage years.
Because you're gonna get that. Oh, just so you already know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We get to go through it again.
Yeah.
All the fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. All over again.
But yeah, I think in the next 5 years, they're going to be a bigger part of what I do. Yeah. Because now they're getting into one wants to be a streaming gamer. She wants to stream and do the gaming thing. The other just wants her own little YouTube channel and maybe animating. She likes these things. So, like,
oh, cool.
You're going to see me probably incorporate them more, but doing their own things.
Yeah.
And helping them.
That's cool.
And then they're whatever they're pursuing. So I might, hopefully that can all jibe together. Yeah. You know, we'll see what life with Erns becomes.
Nice.
Or I might just end up producing stuff. Or I've had offers. I was an artist. I own galleries. I'm getting offers now from gallery spaces. Hey, would you like to come curate a show? And I'm like, oh shoot, I guess am I getting back into this?
Yeah.
There's interest there. I used to do music festivals and concerts. Damn. And I've had people, hey, do you want to come help?
Sounds like we're gonna have a part 3, guys.
Yeah, maybe. And so it's just kind of like, I don't know if I'm quite back into that now.
Yeah.
But the money's usually pretty good. It's fun. It's the around.
I feel like there's gonna be a big wave of all that. Like, with everything reopening, like, oh yeah, that's everything. You know, I heard Smorgasbord Galley is opening. Boom, that's gonna be crowded. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, see, there you go. I mean,
not just food. Yeah, the music. I have musicians like, hey, you still doing concerts? You still doing? Like, no, but let me patch you into this person. Yeah. And but now it's like, oh shoot, should I do another art show? Art and music show just to do something? And
the two things that people that connect people and that people love: music and food.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know, got to do music and food.
Those are my favorite things. It really is music, food.
Yeah,
art. Just people that have that passion and create and the share. And those are always the funnest events. And even if I didn't make money from them, it was just awesome just to put it together. I could sit back and be like, look at all this happening. See people getting inspired. That was the biggest thing. See people come who may not have been into something and get inspired to do it. Yeah. I remember when I started off as an artist, I had met somebody who just really lit that spark in me. He was an artist. I didn't know who he was at the time. And he had given me his sketch pad and I was just sketching and he just gave me all these great compliments, told me I should pursue it. And I didn't see this guy forever. And then as I became an artist, opened a gallery, went to that same bar and hanging out, sitting next to this guy, realizing like, oh shoot, that's the guy who, oh shit. Yeah. Turns out he's a really well-known artist and like, holy cow. And so it was just to see that happen to other people, to get inspired. Yeah. It's cool. And I have a feeling I'm going to fall back into it a little bit. My wife wants me to go back into
pursuing. Oh, does she really?
She because this is stressful. The content creation, the content creation, the promotion, everything that you do, that we do. Like, for me, for sure, my wife sees the frustration and the stress because that's a lot of work. And there's not a lot of payback. There's not a lot of you don't get that rewarding feeling from doing. I mean, I do when you get that's the success stories and you help businesses, but the arts, when you see people be inspired, to me, that's the best feeling. So
there's a different passion than food for you. Oh yeah. Music.
I started off doing the arts is a big thing. Growing up as a graffiti artist, the art was there. I did, and then even as I became an artist professionally, because I had a business license, I ended up doing graffiti art for some movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of, that led me back a little bit, and then I have a feeling I'm gonna fall back into the arts a little bit more. Yeah. Just because it's needed. There's not a lot of people who will take that risk or can gather enough people to even put on an event, and it's hard. So, and then the arts got hit so hard the past year. No art shows, no way to I tried doing virtual art shows, but it wasn't the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. When
So
you're
it's
in
one of those
person,
things. If I
yeah.
want to see an art show, I'm just gonna have to put my own on. That's how the gallery happened.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into gallery. I'll just open my own.
Nice.
Couldn't start my own.
Opening up your own doors. You're not waiting for one to open up.
No, that's just the big thing I tell anybody. My stepdaughter who's going through her beauty classes and everything, she wants to work at a salon. I was like, no, open up your own salon.
Yeah.
Like, we'll find somebody to team up with, or we'll team up. We'll get you a spot.
Nice.
Do it for yourself. Always be the.
Especially now, right now, it's so easy. Not so much easy, but it's just a lot more simple, right? Like the formula.
It is. Social media helps.
Yes.
You got your clients, you get things going, especially when you're young at that age. Like your world is so huge on social media. As you get older, your world it just really shrinks down.
Yeah.
So it's like take advantage. Like I'll do it for you. Like let's roll with it.
Yep.
And I have friends who are beauty influencers. My sister's a beauty influencer, and the possibilities just seem endless.
Mm-hmm.
It really does compared to when we grew up, when there was no social media.
No.
I don't know how old you are, but I'm assuming we're the same age. Before MySpace, before any of this, it was just actual paper flyers that you would hand out or post up. So now anybody can be a DJ now. You got a computer, you're a DJ.
Yep.
Oh, you got a phone, bam, you're a video. Your YouTube. You got your own show on YouTube. So,
it's just everything's more simple. It's just so easy now. It's just so much easier.
Did we get more lazy though?
Yeah, 100%. So that movie, Wall-E, I think it's called Wall-E. Okay, I don't remember too much of the movie, but correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't the humans kind of like just all blobs?
Yeah, on their little chairs.
Yeah, so they were operating everything off a computer, correct?
Yeah, they're on the chair would go over and they would just do.
Isn't that kind of scary because that's kind of what we're doing now?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's just like
so Idiocracy and Wall-E, like those two, we're like there.
Yeah,
stupid people are running the world, and lazy people are. It's just everything's at the touch of our hands.
Yeah,
yeah. But
sometimes we need
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay to it to a certain point, but we still need to bring a little bit of that old school element in there, and we need to interact. We need to touch each other. We need to do that kind of stuff. I was waiting for you to touch me.
Oh,
but we need to do.
Sorry, we're having the ET moment over here.
We do need to do that every once in a while. That's why I said, man, that hugging thing. Like, I'm a hugger. My wife is not a hugger. She's just not a hugger. People like that. That's okay. You gotta respect that. I'm a hugger. So when I meet you, hey, what's up? How you doing? So this whole pandemic thing was more like the fist bump, elbows. People give me the elbow thing, but I think the touching thing we've lost that. Like where everyone's just kind of like, oh, I see you. Hey, what's up?
Everything's virtual.
But the virtual thing, but I think we have to have a little bit of the physical contact, man. Like we can't get away from that.
I don't think we were fine before.
We were okay. There's a lot of people that were very disrespectful and sneezing in front of you, and that's kind of gross, But things changed, and things are going back to normal. But I think for the most part, a lot of people are more woke. Is that what they're using now? They're more woke of.
I don't know exactly what that means.
Woke means aware.
Yeah, I know.
Aware of it, I guess.
I'm aware of something, or this person's woke. This other person, like
it always changes.
They're on their own version of.
It always changes. Yeah.
Yeah, the different versions of who is what.
Yeah.
So like that was that. Like we were talking about people wearing masks and not wearing masks. I like that we're at that place now where you want to wear it, cool. You don't, cool. We're done. Criticizing.
We're done pointing fingers and yeah.
Like I'm gonna wear it, cool. You're not, cool.
Yeah.
I'm vaccinated. You're not. That's on you.
Yeah.
So we get back to that, and people will get back to normal. And if not, you're not a hugger. Don't be a hugger.
Yeah.
You're a hugger. Hey, bring it on in.
Let's
do this.
Yeah.
I'm a selective hugger. I'm really like, I have to know you and I have to like you.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you a hug. No
Thank
problem.
you.
But it's just me. I'm weird. Like, oh, I feel some people just come and give a hug. Like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah. No, I'm same way. I gotta feel you. I gotta know you, but I'm same way.
Yeah.
I won't just hug anybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not one of those.
When I say I'm a hugger, I mean, if I know you, I'm a hugger. Like I'm gonna hug you.
The exception is when somebody outright says, sorry, I'm a hugger. And I'm like, okay, I'm a hugger. Let's do it. When they just do it, it's like, oh, okay.
But isn't that cool? Because that's like breaking the ice on a conversation.
They're excited, like, I'm sorry, I'm a hugger. Like, awesome. I'm here to, I'll hug you.
Yeah.
I like hugs.
I
don't give them. You want one? Bring it. I got you.
Yeah.
I got a big one for you.
So there's a lot of love in this episode, you guys. So
A lot of love, a lot of sharing. That's what life with Erns is all about.
That's right.
I think so. Now, I don't know if it comes across in my media or anything that I do, but it's just the love. It's people who love, and I want to share what they have. That's it. I'm not as I try to find this persona. Like I try not to change my persona for the camera, or we were talking about coming up with catchphrases, and it's hard because every time somebody has a catchphrase, they go off on their own little thing for a second. Yeah, it's like, oh, and I catch you at the next one.
Yeah,
whatever. This is Life with Erns. Even when saying that, it's me doing something I wouldn't normally do. It's like,
right, and so it's got to be very organic. So when I keep throwing that out there, like I keep telling you, like, oh, you got to get a catchphrase. I'm not saying like you have to get a catchphrase, but I'm like, that's something that I think. Once we figure out, like I've talked to people that I know that don't have catchphrases, but I listen to their podcast or whatever medium they have, and I go, hey, I noticed that you say this a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them because they may not catch it, but I know that I'm catching it. And if I'm catching it, someone else is too. So hey, maybe why not make that your thing? I don't know if I have one or not. I don't think I do. I know I try to force. Let's tap into it. I try to force that a little bit, and I know it's not organic, but I try to force it. But let's face it, guys, it's not gonna work.
I like it though.
I like it too, but it's just I don't.
You just gotta be more confident with it,
I guess.
Or you gotta I think you gotta let me know we're gonna do it.
Maybe
let the guests know, like, okay, this is I'm gonna say.
I think I need to start opening up with
and
that.
And then I can be
but just like this episode, like we just started talking, and I go, oh shit, let me just introduce a guest.
I like that too. I like there's always those setups, like there's two people talking, and then the music kind of lowers, and then. Oh hey!
Yeah. Well, that's what this is gonna be. This one here.
When I had my own little podcast for a little while, we would jokingly we'd get trashed. We'd drink and just BS, but we'd always we'd fake talk, and we'd like, oh hey, and because it was funny. It was just one of those.
I love it.
And the same thing as I watch other foodies or social media people and influencers. Like I study what they say every time. And I notice as because I go back and watch every one of my videos. As I try to study what I say a lot, I'm like, oh, I got to quit saying, oh, I'm here at, okay. So all these intro words. Yeah. And like, I do say a lot of the same things a lot. My vocabulary is limited. And even my wife brings it up. Like, you say cool a lot. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Like, oh, cool. That's, I don't say, and I'm from Northern California. I should be saying hella cool. Yeah. Oh. I dropped it since I moved down here. I don't say hella cool anymore.
Did you? But you used to say it a lot?
Yeah. But now it's just, everything's cool, amazing, and oh, what was the other one? But yeah, it's just like, you say that too much. You need to, it's like, yeah, no, you're right. But there's nothing catchphrase worthy in there other than, guys, this is cool. And I annoy myself because I have to edit myself and edit all these things down. So, yeah, nothing's sticking out to me right now. It's one of those, it'll come. Because I don't know if that was, I don't know where this is going.
Life is cool.
Life is cool. Life with Erns is cool. But is it always? No. And that's I kind of do want to show some of the things, as we get into the Life with Erns, as we start branching out, as things open up. Because that was a big thing when COVID hit was, and even my clients, I would tell them, because even like there's like a Chamber of Commerce, there's some city officials, and they wanted everything to be so like, oh, as everybody's coping with I'm like, no, you can't be this. People are looking to you for inspiration. Yeah. You've got to, yes, we're all dealing with it, but like, hey, come at them with something
positivity.
Positive. Yeah. And that was the thing. So I tried to maintain that positivity throughout the pandemic. It was like, okay, we're here. This is what we're doing. I never talk about the bad things, never cover that. But now that everything's kind of over, I kind of did the only thing I did that was serious was my prostate exam.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
And that was one of those. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I wanted to get real, talk about men's health. It's an uncomfortable topic. Yeah. But I kind of want to do more of something like that. Yeah. It's like, okay, as a parent, these are some things I have to deal with. Yeah. And, it was one of those Life with Erns things that I kind of want to get it more into. Yeah. Now that we can, everybody's doing great now. And
well, like when you did the altar, that's kind of one of those things where it's Life with Erns. You did the altar with your kids. Like that was pretty cool because it was kind of like a personal thing with, that you did within your house. And
that's something I've never done before. That was part of working with Gus Mejia, working with Northgate Gonzalez Markets. Growing up, and we'll get back to who Erns was. Like my parents, I think my mother doesn't speak Spanish. My dad understands it, speaks it, but they never taught me Spanish. We're just told to assimilate, they're going through the assimilation and just, this is what you need to do to be successful. Yeah. so I lost a lot of culture. The cooking, I think I lost my grandparents pretty young, like teenagers years. So I really didn't pick up the cooking and the culture. My parents were busy working. So I missed out a lot of who am I? What was my history, my heritage? I was just me. Now that I have kids, it became super important. I never had no desire to learn Spanish. Now, like, shit, I want to learn Spanish. I had to work on my pronunciation big time.
Yeah.
And then, but just learning the culture, the religion. I'm not a practicing Catholic, and you'll see me promote it because it is in our culture. It's just like, oh, we do celebrate these things. Three Kings Day, or is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, Los Tres Reyes Magos.
Yeah, the one I can't pronounce. But yeah, there was these things like, I love the idea of it. I might not agree with or not like certain things or might not fit to what my beliefs, but I love the concepts of these things. And this is our heritage, is our culture. And through hanging out with Gus Mejia was another big one where I was exposed to the art, the culture on that aspect of it, going to these places, seeing these iconic images, seeing how they're made, the people that it takes to make these things happen, doing the altar thing for Northgate Market. Like, oh, this was wonderful.
Yeah.
That was one of those real moments where, like, I may have said in the video, we do it every year, but we don't. That was our first time. It was like, but it made me go back. It made me go on internet and research.
Yeah.
It made me go look at pictures. It made me get excited about going to shop for these things. And when my kids did it, they didn't understand what we were doing. I had to break it down and be like, this is kind of who we are. Because and it hit me when my kids were like, oh, we're not Mexican, we're American. Like, well, no, we're Mexican American. I had to go through, like, we never migrated. We're from Texas, New Mexico. Yeah. It was Mexico that just became the United States. Yeah. And then here we are. And then we moved to California during these years, and to learn my own family history, which is amazing in its own way. Like, I don't come from kings and rich people and landowners. We've always just been workers. But to know the story of where we come from and how we became here, and who served in the military, who served, all these little things that kind of got lost to me. Yeah. I get to pass down to my kids. Yeah. So that's just been the past 2 years that I've been working with Gus and Northgate Gonzalez Market, really being part of the culture down here. It just broadened me in so much.
That's like the rewarding part of, like, you don't know, like, who knows if you would have ever gotten that if you weren't out here. You know what I mean? Like, Gus Mejia, like, he's LA based, right? So you wouldn't know, you wouldn't have got that out here or out there, up north,
And I tried when I was, like, in the military. I was stationed in Japan, and I was like, one year I was like, I'm missing home. I'm missing the food. I want to make menudo. And you try to make menudo in Japan. I had to get stuff shipped. I had to go find the intestines, and then I spoke enough Japanese, just enough to explain to the butcher what I wanted.
If you were in China, maybe.
Oh, could have got anything crazy there. Yeah, but yeah. So there was always that need, or the things that I come accustomed to, or what I call my own culture at the time. Yeah, but it wasn't until being here in Southern California where it was just like, whoa, this is it's everywhere, and there's not just Mexicans. That was the thing growing up in Fresno. Fresno is just I always hate to say it, like a dumping ground for refugees, but you had Southeast Asians, Armenians, Greeks. Grew up with a lot of Southeast Asians that were from the wars. So it was just this big melting pot. That's what I kind of liked about Fresno, is I was exposed to a lot of things. When I moved down here, it was like huge. Like, Hispanic is just, but I say Hispanic because it's not just Mexicans. Like, Puerto Ricans, Central America, Salvador, and all these different cultures. Like, oh no, you can't just say, he's Mexican. No.
No, you can't.
There's all kinds, and then the food's different. Food, culture, all these wonderful things. Yeah. And then to find out, like, to get more in touch with who I am culturally has been, it's been a big deal for me. Yeah. And in my 40s, nonetheless, it's so late in life.
I'm still learning too. I mean, I'm a first generation out here, so my parents were born in Mexico. Okay. So I should have more connection, and I do a bit more than most, but I still don't know much of it. Like, I'm learning as I'm 40 years old, and I'm still learning too. And same reason why I want to pass it down to my kids, because they're growing up, they don't speak Spanish, so I'm trying to get them. Now that I got a kid that's 10, and he's starting to pick it up. He wants to learn more Spanish. Okay, finally, right? That's cool. Yeah. But it was our fault because we didn't speak it at home. But we just weren't. Our first language is English. It is what it is. So we feel more comfortable speaking it. Even to this day, like, when I talk in Spanish, my thought process is in English. So I think in English, but when I have to speak, I speak it in Spanish. So it's gonna take me a while for me to go here and then here. You know, so once I flip the switch and start thinking in Spanish, I think that's when it's gonna really click.
I never thought about thinking in a different language.
Oh yeah, dude. So that's the key. That's the key to learning a new language is start thinking in that language.
I need to learn another language. I'm trying to do it in my head. Like I don't
Spanish, dude. That's one because you haven't perfected it, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah. So you have to start thinking in Spanish. So like when I say thinking in Spanish, the training would be like, oh, el vaso, right? So you're thinking el vaso instead of cup. So now when you're thinking in English,
trying to translate in your head.
When you're thinking in English, you think it's a cup, and then you go a cup in Spanish is vaso. So then you just 2-3 seconds right there, vaso. But you gotta think vaso.
Man, that's like a lot of work.
I know, but
I gotta learn. I gotta take some classes.
Yeah,
everybody learns differently.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think when I moved to Japan, learning Japanese, I think whatever Japanese I learned, whatever Spanish was there, just got pushed out.
Oh yeah,
that's so funny. I was like, my mind can only handle.
Do you still know a little bit of Japanese?
I thought I did until my daughter's into anime now.
Yeah,
and some of the stuff's in Japanese, and some of the stuff it comes back to me, but it's like no, it's been 20 years, so a lot of it's kind of gone.
Yeah.
But when I hear people speak Japanese, I can pick up a lot of it.
Yeah.
But speaking it, it's like Spanish where things aren't structured the same way English is.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you have to think about it, or most of it. And that was one thing when I lived there. Somebody said, just memorize the phrases, just memorize the little things, just memorize the conversations, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's kind of cheating, but okay. And I was a bartender too while I was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So a lot of it was just memorizing conversations of like, oh yeah, really? Oh, okay, that's interesting. Well, tell me more about this, and all those simple things, and let other people do the talking. And that was the most wonderful.
Also, you mean like podcasting?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
And then people would just think, oh, you're so smart and you're such a good listener. Like, oh, yeah. And half the time, I wouldn't even understand a lot of stuff they were saying.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
That's funny.
You want another one?
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. That's.
I see another one of those chapters, one of those things, being in the military. That, oh, and your Anna's a bartender, and there's a lot of stuff. I should have write a book. There's
seriously, man.
Stuff in there.
You probably do have like a crazy book somewhere in there. Like if you sit back and start writing it down, like that's how most people write, biographies, right? Is when they sit down and start writing the chapters in their life. You start from when, like they say they start with your earliest memory.
Yeah. Holy cow! You know what's funny? And now we're talking about that too. It's only been I've been out of the military. What's today?
The 17th.
Yeah, the 19th. I'll be out of the military 20 years.
Oh, really? Yeah, June 19th?
June 19th. I was going to celebrate the 19th. That was going to be my
20 years.
Yeah. And what's funny is barely now am I starting to friend on Facebook people I was stationed with.
Really?
Yeah. Now there was so much like I was trying to put those chapters behind me that I was always just start the new chapter and move on, that I didn't want to be friends with any of them. And now it's like, okay, I'll start accepting some and catch up. And
that's crazy. How's that been for you so far? Is it kind of weird? Like, oh, I don't remember you like this.
Well, there are a lot of assholes. So it was just
20 years ago, right?
People changed. Okay, have some people changed? Some people got worse. But a lot of stuff is just me. Like, I gotta let stuff go and just kind of accept people. Like, cool. It's good to see people have moved on and done well for themselves, and just really be happy for them. But it's funny is like not a lot of them are interacting with me. Like, oh, okay, you're just following. Okay, that's not bad. I can handle that. And I'm proud of what I'm doing. I think this is probably one of those first times in my life. I mean, well, I take it not the first time in my life, but I'm definitely secure with who I am as a person and what I'm doing. Yeah. Where anybody that's watching, I don't care what stage of my life, like I can this is life with Erns. This is where I am now.
Take it or leave it. Yeah. Because I'm comfortable where I'm at.
That's it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Like when we pass, like we're not taking anybody with us. We're done. So let's make the best of what we have. The short life, because it really is, right? It's a short life when you think about age span of being 80, 85, 90, whatever is the lifespan.
It is when you hit 40 and you're like, oh, I'm halfway done.
Yeah, I'm halfway done. You're like, oh man,
I got another 20, 30 years left.
Yeah.
It's crunch time.
That's
crunch
what,
time.
you know what, at 40s when people start going like, oh, I need to start eating a little bit better. I need to start working out.
I think about it all the time.
I do too.
And there's people,
But I only think about it.
and then there's your midlife crisis. You got to get the motorcycle or the car. Or the,
Oh,
I haven't gone through that yet.
I think I'm over that. I wanted the more. I had wanted a motorcycle ever since I was like,
It would look good in here.
yeah, right. I was like in my mid 20s when I'm like, I want a bike, dude. I just
Yeah.
want a fucking Harley and just a chopper, you know, like and I would still get one if I had the means, I guess. But
Hear that? Need a sponsor.
but I don't think I'm pushing for it as much. I'd rather get myself a truck, man. I've always had a truck, and I got rid of the truck when we started the family, and I got the
Oh.
SUV, and then I got a smaller truck, and it was old, beat up, and I'm like, nah, it's not the same as my big ass truck that I
Yeah.
had before, like full size truck, and so I'm working right now to get that full size truck,
Oh, okay.
get that full size truck back, and then you know, if everything falls in good, then maybe I get a bike. But even then, I'm not as stoked as I was when I was in my early 20s
Yeah.
as I am now. As you know, now that like in my 40s, that I want to get a bike.
Your priorities are way different.
They totally changed. I'd rather just be chilling inside of the truck, AC full blasting, you know,
Yeah.
drinking a 40. No, I'm just kidding.
Unless it's from
Just kidding. Unless it's from.
Unless it's from Styles.
No. I'm just joking. But
Yeah,
no, like
I
just
get
hang. You know, that's kind of like it changes. Yeah, as you get older, you know, priorities change and ideas change.
So do you feel the midlife crisis, or are you just cool?
Nah, I'm cool.
You cool?
Yeah.
I think I go through periods of it where, yeah, when you really think about, I'm halfway done.
Yeah.
That's it. Like when I said I've got the day. It's been 20 years since I got out of the military. What have I done? There's a lot's happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I get anything done? I don't know. So the next 5 years, so the next 20 years is me, because I had kids late, is making sure the next 20 years is all about those girls.
Yeah.
Make sure it's about my girls and my family.
Yeah.
And then everything else is second. My career, things go, they go. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and I go through times like today on the drive here thinking, should I just get a full-time corporate job and just move wherever I need to be,
Yeah.
make that cash and just do what I'm supposed to be doing? You know, I have doubts. I still have
Yeah.
my doubts where like,
Really?
dude, I think I do need to just go back to just working full time.
Yeah.
So it's a toss up, especially being at this age, because then it's like, oh, retirement. So now my retirement, it's coming. Like I've got to make sure it's coming out.
Oh yeah.
If I got a job, they'll take care of it, and it'll all
Right.
go there.
Yeah.
So it's midlife, and then being an influencer, doing everybody's happier age.
Yeah. My thing right now with that influencer thing, it's like, you know, you're writing it because, you know, everything's like a fad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like if something's gonna fade, it's gonna fade out eventually. And like did you write it till it's fully? Were you smart? Did you save 50% like Amaris would save for 50% of her check?
Does she?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
damn.
crazy. She's, you know, but she said she's done it since she was, you know, young. But are you saving 50% of your check, or are you investing it? Are you spending all of it? Like, are you waiting to see, you know?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm just saying, like in general, right? Like with
Give my
these
financial
feds.
advice.
I'm not trying to get too personal. with you.
No.
But
Well,
no, I'm just saying,
I
like,
went through it. No, I went through when I was younger. I did cash out when I left one of my state jobs. I cashed it out. I'm moving to Vegas. Let me just cash that out. And I'm young. I'll get another job. And now I left the state again. I'd worked for the state for another 8 years. And like, that's just sitting there.
yeah,
I just keep contributing on to the other stuff that I have. And like, you think about things differently.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. But it's always in the back of my mind. You know,
No,
the fad, the fade, you know. you're
It's
gonna
that
fade.
safety net, you know, like that safety net that I always create
Oh
for
my
myself.
gosh,
Like
yeah.
it's just that's what it is. But
It's there for me now for the first time. Like, okay, we got the safety net. There was something else too that I would like, oh, I didn't realize I have zero debt. Like, oh, all my debts are paid. Like, we're good. My credit rating sucks, by the way, because I don't have any debt, but I don't know anybody. So that was kind of one of those big reliefs in life where it's like, oh,
yeah,
another chapter closed, the debt side, you know, because that was a hard one to get out of. You know,
but when you do, it's like it feels really good and it
Yeah.
feels very accomplishing. But I definitely was one of those where I knew that buying houses and stuff like that. Like you have to have that recurring debt.
Oh yeah.
So I would get, we still do. We have credit cards and we'll use them, and then like that next month to pay it off. Or maybe
supposed to do.
Maybe wait a couple months and pay that finance charge just a little bit, just to keep building up that. But we've always had that.
You're responsible.
Well, we know.
Oh, that's hard, man. That's a rare quality for a lot of people.
See, I can't take all credit for it. I have a very smart wife.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because if I was solo on this bad boy,
you'd have that chopper right here, right now.
I'd have that chopper right here, but then I'd be renting the garage. Then I'd be sleeping in the garage.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I would have. I don't know if I would own a house.
Yeah. No, that's the hard part.
Yeah. It's just we work well together, but she definitely has grounded me because.
See, that's a big part of it too.
Yeah, dude.
As we talk about success, we talk about those 5-year plans. A lot of it is if you have a spouse, if you have a family, they play such a big role.
Oh yeah,
they've got to be supportive. My kids have to be supportive of what I do. Mm-hmm. They have to be understanding that, like, I have to make them shut up, be quiet while I'm filming. They know now, well, except a little. She still runs up in the videos.
Yeah,
but yeah, and your wife, your spouse, your husband, whatever you have, they have to be totally supportive of what you do. And then there's conflicts with that because when I started out, the first 2 years I made zero money. I was just doing stuff for the exposure, doing stuff to help out, get the experience. So having the support network is so important. If you have somebody that keeps you on, somebody that keeps it real with you,
that
was the biggest thing with my wife is she's just brutally honest. Like, oh, you need to put a shirt on, like quit wearing those, and I do. There's certain things where, I need she keeps me in check.
Yeah.
She supported a lot of what I do when things were bad. And none of this would have happened. This wouldn't be live with Erns without her. And I think I gave her one big shout out once and she got all embarrassed. And because it was just like, oh, the only reason I get to do what I do is because I had that my wife was there.
Oh yeah.
And she doesn't like being on social media at all.
Oh,
she's a teacher, so she doesn't want her students to know. Oh, it went back to when I was doing the music events.
Yeah.
So I do all these concerts and everything else, and like her students would be going to these concerts, and there would be my wife there backstage and whatever. It's like she didn't want that. She didn't want the attention, or she wanted students knowing too much about her life.
Yeah.
So, and I used to be the same way. That's the funny thing. I used to be super
private
about my life, especially coming out of the military. You were just taught like you don't share anything. You don't share. You go on vacation. You don't tell people what you do, where you come from, and you just make chit chat and avoid it. But my wife's like, "Oh, he's an artist, and I'm a teacher, and we live here." And like, don't quit telling people. Even to this day, she'll tell the neighbors like, "Oh, this is what we do." I'm like, they don't need to know that.
He's life with Erns.
And there I am. Like they find me on YouTube or wherever. Yeah, but yeah, that's. I think we need to talk about that another time. Is the support network though?
Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be one of those episodes. I mean, I know I don't say it as often either, and like. I don't give her flowers as much, right? Like especially on air, but that we'll do it now. Like 100%. Like if it wasn't for her, and she inspired the name of the show.
Yeah,
Talking Again podcast. So big support group. If you don't have it, then you're not going to be successful.
No.
And you measure your own success and you measure it by money and financials. I do it by happiness.
Yeah, most definitely. That's been it. If I wasn't. But making the money helps. Having some of those stuff when things started paying off. Yeah. When I started making money and when it went really well. And I've always had multiple jobs. I've always done something. I was never like a burden. But at the same time, like from going from doing so much to doing nothing. Yeah. And then building again. It was an awesome to have that in my life. And at the same time be able to take care of my family. Yeah. In other ways. It was so funny. I don't want to tell this story, but something similar had happened to a friend of mine. It was at a family event and they were giving the shout outs to all the people and all the hardworking husband and so. And then they had the stay at home husband and they totally and then there's so-and-so pause. And then so-and-so. Oh, like total burn in front of everybody. Yeah. And then what made it worse is the guy who was making the speech went back and said, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that. So being a stay-at-home parent is not hard, but you just made it 10 times worse.
He made it worse." So
that was the whole goal of mine was to make sure that nobody could do that to me. And like, no, it is hard. It's a thankless job. But big shout out to the wife and the kids. Man, the kids go through a lot. It's like being like those military spouses where you don't see like the military members go out and do all the work and then you don't see what the family has to go through. Yeah. They sacrifice a lot. Right. And not that my family sacrifices as much as the military family, but there are little sacrifices that they make. And I appreciate that. I definitely try to reward them or make them part of it.
Yeah.
You want to start your own channel? Cool, let's do it. When the big one wants to do her business, like, I got you. Like, let me help you in the way I can.
I heard it too. Utilize your resources. If you're not utilizing your resources, then you're doing something wrong. So they're out there for a reason.
Yeah.
They're not there just for show or like a keychain. Like let's start actually using them.
Definitely.
And I think that's very important. I had a conversation with someone today, and he's trying to do this podcast thing, and I go, and he's like, "How much would you charge if you to show me how to kind of like set it up?" And I go, "Come on, dude. I go, just come down here. I'll show you what's up because I want you to succeed at what because maybe your podcast is better, your idea is better, and it'll be way better than mine. Who cares? But I just want you to do good. If it's just sharing information and knowledge, I don't know.
No, I love that.
I don't even know if I'm doing it right.
Right? You can see what I got.
I'm just showing you what I got, but I don't know if I'm doing it right.
I'm the same way. Yeah. I try to share what I can because when I got into this, there's a few people I reached out to, people I used to hire to do this stuff. And then when I say, hey, can you show me how to use this camera? Or like, no, I don't do that. If you want to like, maybe you don't, that's messed up. And I had other people that were, as I started creating different content or better content, hey, what equipment are you using? Oh, I don't, they wouldn't share anything, any tips, tricks. And it became really disappointing in like events, venues, club promotion, stuff like that. Definitely, it is very cutthroat. People don't share anything. That was one of those were like,
that's like freelance stuff where you gotta like you can't share the secrets, the trades.
They don't want to share anything.
Tricks
or,
of the trade because
where you get your tickets made at, or where do you get this? Who does your security? Oh, no, I don't know. But same thing for some of the content creation stuff. Coming from the arts background, it was always like, yeah, this is how I make this. This is how I do it. Galleries right next to each other always do good. They network. Yeah. So becoming an influencer, or even in the media, as I started creating content for media entities, there's so much animosity and hatred between each other that like you go from one to another, and it was just like, oh, you can't work here because you worked for so and so, and like, what's the big deal? Like, it's a big enough thing. And then even content creation, it was just like, no, they would talk crap about each other, and I was like, no, like, why don't you come with me? Like this, we'll double team this event, and you create your content, I'll create mine, and we should be cool. And I brought that with me, and I think that stuck around where we created a nice little community of freelancers, and it was like, share resources. They're there, even if you do something a little different. Like, like you're talking about having a mixer board, like, oh, I have to have one, and try using this. I might have a little bit of knowledge to share. Yeah. Like, we're not competing, and there's enough business and viewers out there for everybody.
Oh yeah.
So that was the one thing I'm not competitive. It's the sports. I never got into sports, so I never got that competitive. Like, oh, we're against each other. We're like, no, it's always everything. If you work together, always just seems to work out better. Yeah. Even if you do the same thing, or you're not taking money out of my my pocket. Why not? But I think I would love to try it though. Oh yeah, it's okay. It's another task for you. Something to challenge. Another challenge for you. Oh, it's gonna come up. It's one of those like, oh, I'm gonna have to just do it. Yeah. I know the day's coming, and I look forward to it. It's just as long as the expectations are low, as nobody's expecting any championships or anything. Like, nah, nobody's gonna do it. I'll do it. Well, I'll tell you, I can't wait to see more about it later on the line. When I'm watching Life with Erns, because you are going to start posting a little bit more of that stuff. Yes, I am. I can't wait to see it. Thanks again for coming on. Thank you for having me. It's been fun. Part 2. Part 2 was great. I swear to God, there's going to be a part 3. It's coming. It's going to be coming. But yeah, man, any plugs, anything you want to, obviously we've said it like 45 times on the show. If you guys want to play this back and watch it again, you guys created a drinking show. How many times did we say Life with Erns? Life with Erns. That's it. Just going to plug myself on this one. Go to my channel, you can see everybody else that I plug, and that's all I do is plug people. I was plug you. I don't know. Yeah, it's just there's just too much to share, and thank you. Yeah, thank you giving me the outlet here to just get everything out. Yeah, it's fun, like right? Therapy session. That's what it's all about here at Talking Again podcast. We have some drinks. Shout out to the Stout House in Upland. Yeah, and thank you again for the bottle of whiskey. Oh yeah, enjoy. Muchas gracias. That's it. This is Fidel, Erns Valdez, Talking Again podcast. We're out. Hosted by Fidel. Tell it like it is, only tell it real. Live every Tuesday, you know the deal. We talking again, we talking again.
now tuned in to the tap in. You now tuned in to the tap in. You now tuned in to the tap in. We're talking again, we're talking again.